Hello, good morning. How is everybody? All right, so I don't know what's going on with Restream. Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Please. Hello? All right, I'm going to have to switch this real quick. How about this? I just sat here for the last 10 minutes talking to y'all and did not realize I was muted. I'm on the right track today, y'all. So, I was trying to find the dude's Facebook, but I can't find it. So, I found a video just before I went live about this dude. Um, that he did with somebody named Angelica Brooks. Do you guys know who that is? Oh, that's not it. Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of somebody named Angelica Brooks? Y'all forgive me, I'm using this new laptop and I don't know it quite yet, so I'm trying. All right, so this dude is trying to write the book, okay? This dude right here that somebody told me last night looked like Don B. We're going to listen to this because this lady right here that he's talking to is a private investigator and in the state of Alabama. She is licensed and everything in the state of Alabama, not Tennessee. Um, and then I'm going to, if I can get on his YouTube page again. I looked at it last night. Let me see if it's in the history. And this is the title of the book, if I can get it up. And
The Dark Truth.
All right, so I'm going to do it with this page. Hold on. Well, that was weird. The computer just went, the new laptop just went all black. Like it went black and then took me out of here. I don't know what the hell that was about. I hope I don't start having trouble. This is the first time I'm using it.
The Dark Truth. The chilling story of Summer Wells' disappearance. Folks, it's coming soon. You don't want to miss it. Spread the word. I repeat, spread the word. The Dark Truth. The chilling story of Summer Wells' disappearance. The Dark Truth. The chilling story of Summer Wells' disappearance. Folks, it's coming soon. You don't want to miss it. Spread the word. I repeat, spread the word.
Okay. So, what is the chilling story? How can you write a book on somebody when there's no ending to this book? Is there something suspicious that it's like kind of very suspicious to me? Like you're writing a story about a missing kid that the investigation is still ongoing, but you know the dark truth. And what is that, my what what is that, may I ask? I mean, it's all this, everything that we've dug up, or they have dug up, because I found some last stuff last night too. Like I found this episode about the Summer Wells case. Um, Everything except for this video, the video I'm about to show you, has been turned into TBI. As far as I know, it has not been. But we are going to watch this video and we are going to talk about it.
One of those being the family speaking in past tense. I believe more so it was the father's interview I saw, but he's speaking a lot in past tense. Already taking place. And he,
What the?
at this
Stop.
point,
And this is that Angelica's website. I want to make sure Stevens is out there and hers so that way I can not get in trouble for this any which way. All right. So I'm trying to figure out where they first start talking about summer.
the 9 to 5. But
Job, I know on TV it always is, but
it can be, but the key to it, oh, well, I mean, going into a case the first time, you're always, I don't care who you are across the board, even though you do, law enforcement may get up in front of everybody and may say one thing, but you better believe that they are actually having a conversation, amongst themselves about what they really think or what they really believe. There's a type of information. The family speaking in past tense, very standoutish, different signs that you would tip. That's just the first thing I want to say, because I've seen a lot of people getting beat up because things are just not looking right. And things like that, they can't really, there might be some other type of foul play. When I see people voice their in front of everybody, going into a case the first time, you're always, I don't care who you are across the board, even though you do so show sympathy and you are in for like 30 years, they're still like, it's a great mom. She's a great, everything is present, present, present. So when you see somebody that stands out, they're just automatically go.
All right, so my first question. Did y'all ever hear that the boys were coping very well? Or did you ever hear Don say that? I personally have never heard it. And I've never heard anybody say that the boys are coping very well. But my question to y'all, have y'all heard that statement at all? Or a statement in that kind of a thing? Roundabout. Have y'all ever heard anyone say that the boys were coping very well? I sure haven't, but that doesn't mean nobody else hasn't. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this so far? All right, so no questions? All right, let's move on.
I mean, I don't think the children. I didn't see any interviews where the children have actually spoken.
I don't think so.
Or I couldn't find anything. No. So he's kind of in a mode of speaking for the family right now, or more so the children. How well they're coping and how well they're dealing with it, which is just not normal. Typically, the children, even if they're still dealing with a lot of things. I think he's just trying to make it seem like everybody's holding this solid fort together, possibly in hopes of finding Summer, but that's just not something that I would say publicly. Like my kids are handling it great that she's missing. That's just not something I would say. I know he does have a past of domestic violence, so whether it be me or law enforcement, that's something they're going to key into as well. That's definitely a sign. Let's see what else. The situation with the drowning, with the young boy that came forward that said that he was out there with the family.
Yeah, H came forward, right? No, no, they went to H because they told them they told TBI H was with them. So they went to H. H didn't go to them.
And he had been drinking because the mother of Summer had brought him alcohol, which was just again another sign. Another sign. She was under the water for more than a minute, or no more than a minute, and I think he said he pulled her out, and then she came to.
It was about 10 seconds. Thanks. Come on with some more of the lies and the misinformation.
And then he wasn't sure if a second drowning could have taken place or not. But that whole situation right there is something that you'd want to key into.
And he also said that she was alive when they dropped him off. There was no drowning at the pond or the lake.
Paying attention to. I can see law enforcement not coming down hard on them right now, only because they don't want the evidence. If she's close, they don't want evidence moved. They don't want it touched. They don't want them to think, hey, we're looking for you. Even though we know you did it, they're not coming down. They initially don't come down hard. It's towards when they're just like, okay, we resorted all our resources. Now we're going to turn the tables and,
I think they already have accessed all the resources that they can afford, but they are turning away free resources as well.
try to see what way is up.
And not for nothing, it's been 2 years and they haven't came down on them at all.
So those are some of the signs. I think that some of the things that just kind of stood up. And then I think Candace's sister is also missing since 2009, and nobody ever found her. Again, doesn't mean it's connected, but it's definitely another red flag.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. And then I think
I'm glad they find all of this amusing. I'm glad she finds it funny, honestly.
June 18th, Dad did a prayer vigil, and during that vigil, Dad was asking for forgiveness of sin. So that's typically not something that's said during your child's vigil.
They've never been to a kid's vigil. They don't know. They didn't know what it was about. Heck, I don't even know what a vigil was about.
Definitely something I would key into. But it's just odd. And even if I'm not sure if the parents were polygraphed, but people are saying that they were polygraphed and they passed. There is a way to pass a polygraph. I mean, some people know how to do it very easily and can skip right past it. So,
Oh yeah.
They have had polygraph tests.
yes.
Supposedly she failed the first time, but they let her take it again and she passed.
No, she didn't take it the
Okay.
first time.
Okay. So that.
No, that's not what happened. She didn't take it the first time because she was so upset that they just said forget it. But she did take it again and she did pass. So much for the information, y'all.
Definitely something is off there because sometimes they do it like 2 or 3 times, but it depends on how many times you fail that same question. So maybe she passed the question the second time around and just another question because it's how many times you're failing the same exact question. So then again, like I said, that would be my other red flag. That would be another sign that I would be looking at. That's definitely concerning. Whether they are guilty or not, that's still going to raise my eyebrows to wonder, to question a little bit more.
Now, do you think Summer is still alive? What's your hunch?
My hunch at this point, I don't think she is. I don't think that she is. Not sure if it was maybe something that happened accidental and they just don't want to get in trouble for it, or something that happened, because I just don't believe somebody came up to the house and just took her.
It didn't necessarily have to be somebody up at the house to take her. She could have walked down that trail herself and went to the road. Think outside of the box.
That story is just really, that's hard for me to. I mean, people do break into other people's homes and things like that and do, but just the lineup of the story is just, I mean, a house full of people, you just grab her and then you're just gone.
Yeah.
And then you know it's a sex offender, it's this type of person, it's how? How do you know all these things about this person that took your child? So yeah, I'm
But Dean, see, both said that she failed the first time because she was so upset. So yeah, she took more than one. She took two. She did take two. The first one, she didn't really take the whole polygraph. She went through the polygraph, but she was so upset that she couldn't answer anything. So they let her go and she took another one. Oh, okay. Andrew never logged off. That explains why this stream exists. What are you talking about? This is my stream, not Andrew's, hon. That has to be Ericon. Anyway, all right, let's listen to some more of these. This.
Just not, that theory is not sticking well with me. So there's got to be some other, I feel like there's something else that's missing.
Yeah, Summer.
Missing. And then the significance of the sister missing as well, with no leads, like nothing. And if this one was to run the exact same way, they never found Summer, I wouldn't help but to think, like, this is weird. What happened to both of them? Yeah.
Definitely weird. All the odds of two people going missing in the same family, right?
Yes. Yes.
It is weird. But
and it's not like
they're not connected. They're totally different states, totally different people, and years and years upon years apart.
So do you suspect maybe that human trafficking had something to do with it and it went bad, or what do you think? Was she just murdered? How do you think?
Are you out of your mind?
If you think it is.
It seems like it could have been a situation where it could have been something to do with the drowning. I mean, it could have been something they thought she was okay, but she really wasn't. It could be something to do with that. And then it also could be something maybe accidental, like, maybe dad got upset or somebody got upset at the house and took it out on her. And then the next thing you know, I mean,
I doubt that.
Mom has a habit of, I think ever since he had the domestic violence thing, if he was to do anything domestic again, she would probably keep it secret since she dropped the first charges. I don't think she would run and tell anyone.
Yeah.
At this point, she'd probably just, kind of keep it in and just be hurting from it. I do know Mom started to GoFundMe accounts, which is really kind of hard because if you're having all this funding and law enforcement and all these agencies in there, I'm not understanding if you don't know whether you're still hopeful that your daughter is alive, why you would have to set up 2 GoFundMe accounts to be raising money as if it's like for a funeral or something.
They didn't start GoFundMes. What are you talking
Mom
about?
may know more than what she's saying. She might just be in fear. I mean, because Dad does have that domestic violence past, and you can't really play that off. It is what it is, So I think it could be something happen leading along the lines of domestic violence, or maybe something along the lines of the drowning. If I was to go off of only the information that I have.
Yeah. Some people say that those kids, all of them, need to be taken out of that home. Would you agree with that? You think they're just unfit parents?
Now, okay, guys, this was published 3 days before the boys got
sure.
took.
I think at some point there had to have been some social services involved because you would think, because of domestic violence and how off a lot of people that are close to them say that they are. You would think at some point, they've already had to have some sort of services involved at some point, I would think.
Yeah.
I definitely think it looks like, I know, it just feels like there's a lot of foul play and a lot of unanswered. I just have a lot of questions.
Yeah, everybody does.
There's just so much around that. I definitely think, based on the work I did in social work as a child protective investigator, they would have been, there's no way I could not foresee this family having not been underserved at some point in time. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah.
Whether it be people calling in, false or true, there had to have been some sort of involvement with some sort of services. Why those were terminated, I don't know, but they would be the ideal family that would be involved in these cases. Because it just doesn't make sense. But as far as, my path in that career field, yes, at some point, I think they should still be involved, but at some point they should have definitely been involved. And I think, like, with the dad, I saw one interview where the dad was interviewing and he had the son standing behind him, but it was like the son couldn't even look up one time, and that bothered me. He couldn't look
always
up.
had his arm around him too, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's one big pet peeve of mine when I was in that line of work. Like, I would make sure I would separate them both and talk to them, because that is just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wouldn't fly.
So do you think all the people speculating on social media about it, do you think that affects the case in any way?
I think it does, because I was able to weed out very quickly when I started seeing, most of where I got my information from was actually hearing the family talk. Seeing that prayer visual, not just hearing that there was one, but seeing him get up on that stand and his demeanor, the way that he was talking, the way he was carrying himself, watching his behavior patterns, things like that. That's where I started drawing my conclusions from. So it wasn't necessarily that I was feeding it to everybody else, because I could tell when it started to get like gossipy. When I started to hit across the article, I probably wouldn't even be in there in 1 to 2 seconds in YouTube. I was like, yeah, this is not it, not worth my time, because I could tell where they were going. Because when it's more opinionated instead of fact-based, then already, where that's going. As far as calling tips in, now, if they're calling in with these same type of tips, with these gossipy lines that, I could tell it could be exhausting to the law enforcement agency, because it's too much. Yeah. I mean, when you say you have 900 and some odd tips, and it's like you rule out 900 of them, because they're all gossip.
They gotta check all of them, right? Regardless.
Exactly. And that it just doesn't help at all. So I definitely look for the facts of the case, the information that's going to help me determine, is this making sense? Is this okay? Now, sometimes if it's outside families or things like that, or people that are connected to them, I might feed into that a little bit, because I'm like, okay, you may have your opinion, but you've been around them, But these other ones that are just doing these podcasts that are just putting their opinion into it, it doesn't help. It just, especially if they send it in for tips, it's exhausting.
So do you think this case will get solved?
Well, they're on 4 weeks now, and
it's
still nothing. I do know that the agency that's coming in, the EquiSearch, is very good. I know they are one of the top ones. They've helped find missing here in Alabama as well. They're pretty good.
P.S. They are really good, and I have nothing bad to say about them. But P.S. Summer wasn't found. Nothing was found when they came in either.
So with them coming in, I think it's nobody knows kind of where to start. You know, there's just no starting place. There's no where could she be, or where was she last, or you know, it's just
Did she make it home that day at all?
right. It's just you're just out there blindly, and I think that's what hurts this case so much. Is it's like there's no information. I mean, there's no surveillance. There's no. I mean,
And there's still none to this day.
I just don't. This one I just don't know because there's just not enough information that's been given, and that's when, like I said, I kind of go back and reflect on the parents. Cause I'm like, there's no info. Like there's just not her at a gas station, not her at a store. Not. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
there's nothing to it.
Do you think the whole thing about planting flowers, was that a distraction, you think, or does that have anything to do with it?
What were they?
Well,
Oh, it's like they were all out in the front yard planting flowers before they went in
Yeah.
the house.
yeah.
Well, I think she was trying to show how much of. I think she was trying to show at that point how attentive she was to her daughter. We were all out there together. We came in the house together. She went downstairs with her brothers together. Like,
Whoa. Back it up. They did not go. She never said they went into the house together. She watched Summer go in and yelled to the boys to watch Summer. She never said she went in with Summer. And she never said the boys were playing with Summer.
trying to show there was no time that she would have been apart.
Yeah.
But the brothers are all into their game, and then you got little sister over here. You know, at some point
We know how little boys are, right?
she's not gonna be there at this point, okay?
Yeah.
And not being rude or anything like that. Not that you stay there doing it on purpose. It's just they're into the game.
Yeah.
So I think when she started saying that, and then she got to that point, I was like, okay, no.
Did you watch the interview where somebody, that detective, did with Hunter?
Chris somebody.
You had a chance to watch that?
No, I didn't watch that.
I like that.
I
Chris
forget the
somebody,
name of
y'all.
this guy.
Chris
He
somebody.
was a detective, I think, in New York for 30 years. He got a show now. I forget the name of it, Chris something, but anyway, he came down. He's in the area now. And he interviewed Hunter along with his mother, of course, since he's a minor. That's a very interesting video, and it's all the stories don't match up, They just don't match.
And it's like it's almost like maybe Hunter knows a little bit more that he's not saying, he's holding on to right now because he's scared, because you think about it, nothing has happened to these parents yet.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened to them yet. So he's kind of like, well, how much info do I give? Because.
And it has to be traumatic for the whole family and for Hunter, no matter if they're guilty or not. I mean,
That's right.
the whole family's like become famous and being scrutinized and judged by everybody, and they're all going to need therapy for the rest of their life. And I don't think that is a joke. I'm serious.
Yes, they definitely will. They definitely will, because I can see it all over their social media. I think Mom is on her second Facebook page, and they're all over it. They're all over it. Critics, people. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So definitely, they're gonna definitely need some services put back into that home, because this is traumatic.
Do you think the people at their church, do you sincerely think that they're really helping? They seem like they're really helping, trying to help.
It seems like they're trying to help. I'm not sure what faith that they're practicing, because some of it, was on Dad's post on Facebook was just a little.
They're Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay, because Dad seemed a little bit more extreme than what the pastor, what the others were like. The others within the church are just kind of regular. The Sunday teacher, she was, talking about showing love and not beating up the family. Then I think there's somebody else in the church that plays the flute for her, like daily. They just kind of seem the norm. But then
Plays the
Dad,
flute for
on
who?
his social media, he has some normal posts, but then he's got some extreme kind of.
Who's she talking about? Oh, she's talking about Jackie Dog.
Religious posts, but that's his business. But it just seems some of the ones that I was reading were a little bit extreme, like he's taking off his own. I think July 11th, it was something he posted something, she has to be tied up somewhere or in a creepy basement. Let's search each other's homes.
Yeah, I remember that. That's just not possible.
And it's not normal. It's something is off with,
So he's kind of trying to play the detective and set the narrative and everything else, right?
Yes, trying to. It could be to throw people off of themselves, but I don't know.
He didn't say shit like that, he didn't care.
Really,
he says shit like that, he's suspect. What the hell?
Just don't meet the norm. I haven't seen anything crazy on moms, but besides the people beating her up, of course. And like I said, if she's got battered woman syndrome and this has been going on for so long, like, there's nothing anybody can say or do at this point until she's ready to get herself out of that situation. And that could include things happening to you. How many times in domestic violence do things happen to the spouses, male or females, children, and they don't say a word. They don't say anything because they don't know how far this other person is going to go. Yeah. So,
do you think as far as the mother uses a lot of alcohol and drugs, do you think that's going to influence the investigation at all? Does that have anything to do with it?
I think it's definitely on their radar. I think it's definitely something that they're keeping track of, and something that plays a key part, because you can't just negate that. You can't go, okay, well, we're just not going to pay attention to that because we don't want to judge her. No. Everything for law enforcement, everything is playing a role right now. Whatever they would choose to release to the public or not, all of those factors, I am 100% sure, are playing a role in any decisions that they're making at this moment.
Yeah. So what else was a red flag for you?
I think, let's see. I think July 13th, it said, Dad said she was abducted from home and I'll see her at the resurrection.
I remember that.
And then there's been just no information surrounding this red Tacoma taking her. There's no information to support that at all. According to law enforcement, the digging and things they've done is just not. There's no information to support this theory, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there is nothing, not a suspect, not a person. There's really nothing to go on other than the parents.
Yeah.
And just believing she took off into the wilderness. There's nothing else to support abduction.
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
No. And so that's what I've got so far on that one.
So is this a most unusual case? This isn't typical, right?
We just had a similar case like that, it's crazy. It was kind of similar, very similar actually to this one. And it actually happened here in Montgomery, Alabama. And it did make national news. I can't remember the couple's name, but the law enforcement let them come up there and say, how they give like a public statement to, the public on the search for their baby. And, supposedly somebody came and took their baby from them. They didn't know who it was, who did it at a gas station, yada, yada, yada. But those parents, I think law enforcement, and it's the crazy part about it because law enforcement knew the whole time. I'm sure they knew the whole time it's them,
Yeah.
But they let them get up there, say what they've got to say. And that's the way that it goes. They let them do all of these things until, they're just like, all right, enough is enough. When they've run, they try to get you into a sense of feeling guilty, like, oh, I've messed up, and these people want me to stay on these appearances, and it's not just, it's just eating you alive, at that point. And that's what happened to the couple here. And I guess the dad ended up saying, okay, I did it. He finally, of course, it didn't take this long, but you could definitely tell mom, both of them used drugs. You could definitely tell mom was very apprehensive to say anything about dad. She was kind of following his lead, throughout the whole process. But eerily similar because law enforcement worked the same way. They were kind of like, okay, we're gonna get all these people out here, and with them, at least they had.
Oh, she froze.
With Summer, there's nothing. There's
Kenna, you froze up for about 10 seconds there, and I didn't get that whole sentence. Can you repeat that?
So yes, but like with Summer, there's just nothing to go off of. This dad went to a gas station. They were able to, check surveillance at the gas station, different things like that. But this one here is going to be extremely hard because there's nothing. Yeah. It's just nothing to go. So it makes it very difficult because it's like she just left the house and just disappeared.
Yeah. Very strange.
And then I think the other part for me was, like I said, the lack of emotion. They're just not as broken up as I would think they would be, or as you would assume.
Yeah.
There's parents that have been missing their kids for like 20 plus years, and they'll break, in minutes, But here there was just no emotion, no.
Yeah. Well, I do thank you for looking into this. What's your final conclusion on it? If you want to wrap it all up, summarize it, or how would you just summarize the whole situation?
I think I would summarize it one of two ways. Either something happened accidental, where it could have been something with that drowning, potentially, and she just didn't come back fully from that. Or two, something more is going on in that household than what we know about.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, this red Tacoma appears out of nowhere. I just, my theories are kind of sticking there until I can rule it out.
Yeah.
When you can rule it out, then I say that it no longer becomes the lead. But until that point where you can rule it out, and at this point, nobody can, because we don't know. So you can say, I guess people can say whatever they want to say or how they feel they want to feel, but these are potential leads and red flags. And until you can rule them out, there's nothing.
There's nothing off the table.
And I feel like law enforcement is on the same track. There's nothing off the table.
Well, I certainly hope it has a good outcome, but it's certainly hard to be optimistic at
Yes,
this point. It really is.
yes, it's definitely gone past that time. So
Well, thank you very much.
now, you're welcome.
Check Sandra K. Wells, Bulls Gap, Tennessee office. What is that? I mean, why check out her? What's about her?
Is there
It's been great to be here.
Great to have you here. Is there anything else you want to say, whether it's about this case or about your company or whatever? Just go ahead and say it. Put a plug in for you.
Well, if you are looking for any type of help whether it comes to a cold case or any type of investigation, then you can feel free to reach out. My website is www.angelicabrooks.net. You can also call me at 334-731-4495. So there's two different ways that you can reach me. Also by email as well, and that's info@angelicabrooks.net. So anything, if you have with cold cases, missing persons, human trafficking, anything like that, you have any information on or would like investigated, feel free to give me a call.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Angelica. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And,
absolutely. It's been great being here.
Thank you so much. Well, I will let you go, and you have a wonderful evening. And say hello to that baby for me as soon as they get you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Good evening.
All right. So, interesting facts about this man. He is a pastor. Not sure if she's related or not. Oh, okay. I got it. Sandra K. Wells. Gotcha. I was like, wait a minute. Related to who? Never mind. Got it. I'll look it up, sweetie. But this guy's a pastor for a church. It's called the Greater something. It's in Knoxville, I believe, or Johnsonville. But he's out of Knox County. Ah, interesting. Yeah, where she supposedly went. Um, Heck, I don't even know when that got started or where it got started from. I got so into the trials that I didn't get involved with Summers too much because nothing new or and like TBI or some kind of law enforcement information. Nothing new came out, so it wasn't. I don't get into a lot of the rumors and stuff. I may hear them and bring them up, but that's just to see what you guys' opinion is. I don't necessarily believe everything that I hear. Now, let me rephrase that. I believe maybe 15% of what I hear, and that's maybe. But I don't know. I don't think it's right that this guy should be writing a book, especially without having Candace and Don's approval on it. Because if he has pictures of Summer in there, I know he has an age progression picture. on Summer. Here, let me see if I can. I gotta switch computers real quick. Uh, well, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I didn't hear about him until last night. And yeah, share was one of the ones that informed me about him too. um, I I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, the picture he had, the one picture that I know that he has is the age progression picture. I don't know if he has any other pictures of her or the boys, but either way, because they are minors and not his children, he can get in trouble for that. I mean, if they did, if okay, so if he does come out with this book because it has not come out yet, he said it will be released soon, but it is showing in Amazon. You can go ahead and purchase it through Amazon, and then when it comes available, you get it. So he's charging like $5 for the book. Um, and I think it's on Spotify as well. I think that's where I found it last night. Um, I'm just mind boggled about this. But Candace and Don said last night that they did not give anybody permission, not one person, to write a book about summer, uh, make a movie, or anything like that about summer. And they also said that if even if the person was to get in trouble for doing this, anybody, not just this one, but anybody, because they were all like, well, get them in trouble. You can collect the royalties off of it. They don't want that money, not 1 cent of it, if they ever did get these people in trouble. They're not doing it to get money, they're doing it to stop people from exploiting summer. And regardless, this guy is doing that because he's writing a book about an ongoing case about a missing child. But what information can he put in this book? Because it says the dark truth. What is the dark truth? Does anybody know that? Listening in the, is that a branch? Working, hey Kim, we need to get you and Chris together on a panel, right? No, I don't. I couldn't because I would not be nice. That's one person I would not. I don't have. I'm sorry. I just don't have no respect for that man. If I'm nice to you and I'm not cursing you out, that means I have some type of respect for you. And it's just, I've been on Summer's case since day one. Most of you have been following Summer's case since day one, right? We all have separate views, and that is great because we don't all need to have the same views. If we all had the same views and we all thought alike and we all did things alike, this world would be a boring place. So, yes, you need your own view, you need your own opinion. And I'm grateful because I know I have somewhat of a mixed chat. And I'm happy for that because I know that at least y'all can agree to disagree. Y'all know how to be adults and talk this out instead of calling names and bashing and just being hateful towards each other. We don't do that in here, and you guys know that. So, and I'm not saying anybody is, I'm just expressing my thought. I'm sorry, I digress. I don't know where I went to on that. Yep. I mean, you can I mean, even yeah, you can send the royalties to any foundation, any missing kid, any charity that they have out there. You can send that reward money to, or royalties to. Sorry. Exactly. Not one of us knows the truth. This is I love that because I say that all the time. We don't know the truth. None of us. Not one of us. And you know what? And in my opinion, the Wells don't know nothing either. Like I've always said that Donna's a sketchy man, but it doesn't mean I don't believe him. He's a man. I believe my husband's a sketchy man. I believe every man is sketchy in their own way or not. Every woman can be sketchy. We are a little we're devious though. When we have strong feelings about something, we get devious about that thing. So, yeah. But I don't think I have that. I know he didn't do nothing this summer. I there's nothing. That man didn't do nothing to that kid. I mean, and I heard that in his voice the other day when he was on my panel. I mean, I heard it differently than I guess some people in my chat heard it. But yeah, I just don't think he knows anything. I know Candace doesn't know anything. Candace is just anytime you talk to her or like she talks about Summer a lot. Um, it's just like like I always say, it's really none of our business what goes on. But she does her own emotional thing on her own. She does not like to show that part of her. She wants people to think she's strong, not heartless, not I can't think I don't want to say remorseful, but not I can't think of the word. You know when you know something is right on the tip of your tongue but you can't think of it, can't get it out. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, she wasn't even nowhere near Wisconsin when Rose went missing though. So I don't think they had anything to do with Rose either. I mean, on one hand, you got to look at Rose's husband. On another hand, look where they found her car. Like if that's where she left that car, that's a truck stop. You guys have heard many, many, many stories about the truck drivers. I'm not saying they've done anything. I'm just saying. I mean, you just got to look at every outlook. Like, but they weren't in Wisconsin when Rose went missing. She was in Arkansas, I believe. Exactly, Brenda, Brando, and Kate. Exactly, and that's another thing that I say on a daily too. Like you can't tell me you know how you're gonna feel until you're put in that position. Grant you, yes, people are always like, yeah, they should be out here doing this, they should be at that doing that, but think about how you would feel if you got in death threats on a daily, or you're always gonna have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. Is that something that you guys could actually go out and make awareness and have to look over your shoulder every time you turn around? You're looking each and every direction and doing a 360 trying to put awareness out by your daughter, but you're worried about somebody coming up behind you doing something to you. I mean, we don't know what they do when the cameras are not on them. I mean, I have seen videos of her out putting up flyers. I have seen videos. Matter of fact, Kathy, the friend, put out on one of her lives. She showed some videos. I couldn't imagine either. Like I don't want to imagine it, and I would hate for anybody else to have to go through it. But the sad truth is that there will be another parent that has to go through it because there are so many missing kids out there, and they go missing like every what give or take 60 seconds. Another child is being abducted. Another child is wandering off. Another child is getting unalived by a parent, a family member, a friend of the family. It's ridiculous. And then not knowing, or understanding why is like to the most hardest things you have to get through your mind. You had a missing girl, a girl go missing? Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus. Yep. Kim, you're right. There's plenty of cases that where their kids have been taken into child custody, and it could take, I mean, they could, it could be just before they age out before they get, some of them parents get their kids back. It's crazy. It really is. And then them kids grow up in the foster system, and some of them families that they go to are just horrible places to be. Horrible. And if they don't get placed in a foster care, and they have to go to a, like a home, because they have them like them home shelters where if they can't place them with a family, they go to this one big building. I know they do it in New York, and I know they do it here in North Carolina. Don't know about every other state, but if they don't have a family that takes them, they go into it's called like a ward, I guess, maybe like an orphanage. I don't know, but they go into that until they can either find a foster home or they can do the reunify with the family. They are either family related or um, person person a person somebody close to you. Oh, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. I say he's 12 years shy of the 12 pack. Yeah, it's like a group home. And now, like all these, like I was watching a whole bunch of things in the last week or so, and I seen where people were saying just stupid things about Candace and H, and I'm just like, are you guys for real? Now I don't know how many of you guys, because I've never really talked about this because I don't think it should be a topic, because I don't think it is relevant. I mean, you guys may think otherwise, and that's fine. But I've never had no kind of thought with Candace and H having some type of relationship other than like maybe a big sister brother or another or a mother sister son type thing. But I look at it, I thought of it more as a sister brother or cousin brother, an older family member looking over age. But I mean, everybody has their own opinion on that, but I think it's just crazy that people would even think that. 14 beers. Sugar, be nice, damn it. Yes, I know where you stand, and I have no problem with where you stand. I have no problem with anybody that feels the way you do. It's understandable you guys feel that way. But you are just opposite of me. You got to prove to me that they done something to be guilty for. And you are prove you wrong that they didn't do something. So it goes either way. Yeah, there is a lot of RSOs in that area. like I said something to Don about that the other day. I said it's some for some reason why it feels like all the RSOs get released from jail in Hawkins County and they get dumped in Beach Creek. But he said he really did not know there was that many in the area. Because you got to think they're not going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, what's up? Hey, I'm an RSO." You know, they're not going to tell that crap. They're not. If you do not know them like that, they are not going to talk to you about that. Hell, they're not going to talk to you about it to begin with. My cat just slipped off off his bed. Imperfect timing, imperfect place. Oh, the tree trimmers. But they were all out of there by 4:30. So, and I know where they park their vehicles out because they didn't drive their personal vehicles down there to cut the trees. They drove the work trucks. So I know where they were parking their vehicles at. Um, and it wasn't really that far. It was about 5, 6 miles, maybe, from where they were. So, um, no, I don't think the tree trimmers have anything to do with it, honestly. The unregistered, yeah. I mean, the one, yeah. But see, my thing about this is I've said this since day one too. Why is there no sub police station in the Beach Creek area? Like, because if you think about it, it takes if you're on the Sullivan County side of Beach Creek, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes for the law to get there. If you're on the Hawkins County side of Beach Creek, it takes 35 to 45 minutes for the law to get there, unless they are already in that area. Which, when I was there, and I was there for about a week, I did not see not one police car. Not one. Now, when I got into Kingsport, I seen a whole crap. But when I was in Beach Creek, I didn't see not one. Yeah, I'm with you, Kim. Like, why do you want to insert yourself on a missing child case? Do you want it's either you want your 5 minutes of fame, or you know more and you're trying to figure out who knows what to be on that, to go on that trail. Yeah, my cousin lives in Kingsport. Well, my cousin's kid's dad lives in Kingsport. Him and his twin brother. I just found this out this year. Not when I went last year, when I wish I would have known, but found it out this year. So now, if I do go up there, I don't have to rent a hotel room this year. Well, I didn't rent one last year, but I mean, I don't have to rent one at all this year. I just got to let him know when I'm gonna be there and where he has to pick me up at. We did. We inserted ourselves, but did you insert yourself like some of them people did? I know I didn't. I wasn't. I didn't. I wasn't nosy my way around in there. I wasn't asking, and I wasn't pushing, and I just went with the flow. Like, I didn't. I felt like I needed to be around the ones that knew them personally, because they would be the ones to put the information out, right? Because they do know them. Now, I did not ever and do not ever follow JSB because I feel like she is irrelevant. I don't know. I don't have that feeling like she's part of this at all. I just feel like she was that nosy neighbor that would never leave you alone because I feel like it all had to do with that property. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But I do promise you, I feel like JSB was only around because she was trying to be nice so Andy could get that property. And I understand that too, Kim, but it doesn't take much to put a metal building somewhere like maybe in between right there at the line of Sullivan and Hawkins County, add a little bit of electric to it and put a bathroom in there. You got you a little office. I mean, and somewhere just to detain the people until the other somebody else can come and transport them to the jail. I'm not saying put a jail out there. I'm just saying make it a building where you have a lockup room, an office for you them to sit in, and a bathroom. That's not hard, and you could and Sullivan and Hawkins County share it. You have a couple deputies from that are on the shift already. You're not paying them no more money. They're just going to a different place. You know what I'm saying? They're instead of going to wherever the hell they go, the police station, they go to the substation. And a couple guys from Hawkins County. Like, why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? As much that goes on in Beach Creek, you would think that would be something they would do. Just saying. And you know what? Not for nothing, if they did have something like that, we probably would not be here 2 years right now. I mean, it's a good wishful thinking, but I'm just saying. Sheriffy Senior struck me funny. He don't know the Wells, but he knows the Wells. Yeah, it was him, um, somebody else. There was like three other people or two other people involved with that because I remember JSB complaining about it. Yep, I agree with you right there, 100%. I didn't know Sheriffy Jr. was married. I know his dad's girlfriend lives over there on Ben Hill. That's why he was always over there. Guess you guys ain't working today, unless he's gonna wait till this evening and go down there and do some mudding. Y'all want to come up? You're allowed to come up. Yeah, I don't think he's married. I don't think either one of them are not the dad or him. But see, there is a lot of sketchy people that inserted themselves in this case. A lot of sketchy people. The only one I don't believe should even been added in here is uh the guy with the dog. Is his name Dobson? The one that had bought that piece of land right there in JSB and AB, not AB, but the monster. Okay, her villain, her Voldemort, whatever the hell she calls him. They chased him off of that land, that piece of land. Remember, he bought it blindfolded. He didn't know what it looked like before he bought it. Dobbs, that's it. I don't believe he had anything to do with this at all. Because didn't they scare him off the night before Summer went missing? Was it the night before or the night of? That night? No, it was the night before, I believe. And what's up with them camping down at the bottom of their driveway? Like I didn't understand. Were they camping, or were they just chilling camping? Like they were just chilling at the bottom of the driveway, like having a lemonade stand. The flute guy, that's Dotson. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with Summer. Okay, just chilling. Gotcha. I just I heard that that was the first time I've heard the camp thing, them camping down in the driveway that this week. This past week was the first time I ever heard it, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Like, were all four of them camping out? Well, because from what I understand, he was hardly ever there because he was with that girl that he married, and I believe that's why. I don't know the whole story about them two. I never really, like I said, I didn't listen to her. I listened to what some people said about their conversation or the clip channels clip and things, but I really didn't understand why she would call him a monster or what he did to abuse her. I don't know. But isn't she keeping her daughter away from him? Like, or does her daughter not want to see him? That's what I was thinking. That's why I said, yeah, I probably had a lemonade stand. So Don and Candace both started their own new YouTube They both started new YouTube channels. Can't remember the name, what Don's is called right now. But Candace is and like three or four numbers after it. I can't remember, like 4785 or something like that. I have never heard it. I have never heard it. Sorry, I was looking for something. Oh, what did it say? Yes, I wish they just post pics and posters. I don't know I think I don't know if they're gonna go live. I can't say yes or no. I never did ask them, either one of them. Um, but I know they said they were gonna. It was gonna be about about them and the kids and pictures and videos and pictures and videos of Don's work and the work he does. So it promotes his job. He does. I got to admit, he does do some really good work. He is a very good drywaller. It's getting cold in my house. Hold on one second. Oh, burr. Audio is now everywhere since she came out attacking, calling people liars. She asked for receipts and she got them. Are you talking about JSB? If that's what you're talking about, I can picture that. There was no way I would deny that. No, no, what he's not like the jobs. He's not going to put the job name in there, of course not. And definitely no, not where he's at working. Just like of what he's doing. I don't think it's gonna be video. I think it's gonna be like more like pictures. Hopefully, like would it be look like before, and then what it look like after? Yeah, that's what I figured. I hope people find the do their fact check on this information on this Steven guy, and everybody needs. I mean, I've never promoted sending information to the TBI. It has no importance, but because he says the dark truth, I think he does. This does need to be reported to TBI as much as possible because I they need to know what the dark truth is. We all need to know what the dark truth is. But how can you title your book "The Dark Truth" about Summerwell's disappearance? How do you know what the dark truth is when none of us know what the dark truth is? And some of us talk to the family, and some of us are are a little bit invested in this. So I mean, and that was being very sarcastic when I said a little bit. But like, how does he know more about this case when none of us do, and the parents don't even know who he is? What about them? Oh, hold on now. Hush. Road. Road. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. I thought puppy was stuck. Yes, I agree with you. That's why I said I never say to do that. But I think this guy, because that's where it's always at. That's what happened to it last time. How did it fall?
I opened the door. It was fucking leaning against the door.
No, it wasn't. It was in the corner.
It was leaning against the door. As soon as I opened the door, the fucking gun fell. I promise you.
No, I'm telling you. Well, then it's moved when I closed the door because it when I closed that door and put it in over there, it was in the corner where it's always at. So I'll just have to fix it again. Sorry, y'all. TBI, and it's taking a finance. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand completely. That's why I never, ever, ever, ever ask anybody to send any kind of information to TBI, especially if it's not credible information. But I think this guy, it's not, it won't hurt to look into him, especially with the title of the book being The Dark Truth Behind the Summer Wells Case Disappearance. I mean, just the title of the book is like suspicious enough. Like, what do you know that none of us know? That considering you don't know anybody related to the family. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have an issue with her at all. I just didn't know what you meant by her. I don't know her well enough to have an issue. Yeah, Sugar and her are pretty good friends. I wish I could find this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I could do it this way. Hold on one second, y'all. Let's try this again. I'm sorry, y'all. I am this new computer. I gotta get used to it. There we go. So this is the new age progression of her. And it says Summer Wells was a beautiful 5-year-old girl when she went missing from her family's home in Hawkins County, Tennessee, on June 15th, 2021. At that time, she was 3 foot tall and weighed around 40 pounds. She had very short blonde hair and blue eyes. She is not 5 anymore. She is 7. Presently, she could be 4 foot tall, weighing around 50 pounds. It's possible that her hair color could be different also. This photo was generated by a AI to project what she possibly could look like at this time. Please share everywhere. I'm sorry, that does not make me that does not look nothing like Summer, regardless. I don't think her facial structure is going to change. Now, the kid, whoever they got this image from, is a cute kid, but that's not Summer. And there's a couple comments saying that the same thing that I said. It doesn't look nothing like Summer.
This is Summer Wells, missing since June 15, 2021. I'm a stranger in a strange place, and I don't know how I got here. I'm so far away from home. I would run, but I'm afraid to, cause I don't know what would happen. Can't make it all alone. If I could get someone's attention, one kind soul to look my way, maybe you would recognize me from the pictures where they say I'm a missing child. But baby, love you, baby, love you, baby, love you. No way, no, I'll be forever, forever. Want somebody please come up for me.
the picture, I'm a headline. Days too soon forgotten, like I vanished in the night. Other they can hide me, here it go to find me. Do I really have a prayer? I am sending out this message. Don't you ask these words alone. If you want to make a difference, tell the world about my song. I'm a missing child. Will be son, will be friend, will be advisor. All right, that video was by Tennessee Dude. I just put his link in the chat. He I'm guessing does more than just this. Was titled "I'm a Missing Child," Summer Wells. So and it was posted 2 weeks ago. This is relatively new. It was put out May 23rd this year. So y'all go over there and check them out. But with that being said, it is 2 hours. I've got to get off here. I've got somewhere to be soon. I love your faces. Y'all keep your head up. If you catch us on the replay, just leave me a comment. Let me know you watched it and what you thought of it. Leave me some comments. Be kind, smile. You never know what your smile will do to one person. With that being said, y'all have a great day.